Welcome back, you Bomba Klutz. Welcome back. Glad you made it. It's not a social production. That's right. We're doing it on Wednesday, April the 15th, 2026. Thank you very much for joining me once again. If you've been with me from the get-go, sending all the love right back to you. If you're just joining us today, buckle up. Buckle up, son, because it's about to get messy up in this bitch. Wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's Canada, Mi Familia, further down south, more of my Mi Familias. I'm talking about the United States of Americas, all 50 states, further down south, Mexico, further down south, South Americas, over there, swimming all the way to Africa with one breath. Making it all the way to Europe, over there in Eastern Europe. First, let's go to Western Europe, and then we travel to Eastern Europe, and then maybe we walk, we hike through Asia, over there in China, over there in Korea, Uzbekistan, Armenia, over there in Egypt, over there in wherever else you are. The Finnish people, of course, never forget, lest we forget. I'm talking about Poland, Portugal, Uruguay, back to South America, all around the world, in a submarine, in a time capsule, in a spaceship, in the sewers, on the streets, flying at supersonic speed. Thank you for joining me once again. We did it. Please go ahead and pull your cock out of her ass, or out of his ass. A true lover, of course, never wipes his cock. You sit down, you enjoy your bowl of Cheerios, and let that fecal matter dry via air. That's what a true lover does. And nonetheless, we're here. It's Wednesday. Thank you for joining me. Let me get a sip of this. Lots to discuss. Lots of fun to be had. Get your titty out of his face. He's trying to watch. All right, put your titty back in his face, but like cover one of his eyes. The other one, low-key let him still watch the program, and you enjoy the program as well. And if you want to enjoy that program, please go ahead again. Take his cock out of your mouth right now. Right now. It's time for him to jizz in your mouth, and then swallow or spit it out. I don't care. We're here together. Thank you. Let's just begin. Let's just get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Before we even get into it, I did wake myself up. A little bit of just a little bit of housekeeping. Just sometimes, this is, let's see if anybody out there relates to any of you guys and gals. I'm pretty sure there are people. Sometimes you say things in your sleep when you're dreaming. I woke myself up the other night, just last night or the night before. I woke up, just kind of low-key, just called out Sarah Jessica Parker. I don't even know why. Just woke up to the sound of my voice calling, Sarah Jessica Parker. I said that in my dream, and I'm like, I caught myself saying it. I'm like, why? It doesn't even make sense. It makes no sense. Where'd it come from? Who knows? Who knows? She's not, wasn't thinking about her. I've not seen any, I've not seen Sex in the City in the longest time. Where'd it come from? Who knows? But got into psyche somehow and woke myself up. Sarah Jessica Parker. It's like 3 a.m. But nonetheless, what was the last thing you called out in your dreams, ladies and gentlemen? Let's just get right into it. Good times. Eric Swalwell. Swalwell? Swahili. Eric Swalwell. Eric Swalwell resigns. He resigned. Him and Tony Gonzalez. Eric Swalwell. We spoke about him a few weeks ago, maybe a week ago, who cares when we spoke about him? A few episodes ago, it doesn't matter. Why? Because of the Fang sitch. The Fang sitch. This is the guy who's running for governor of California, if I'm not mistaken. Just get a sip of this. I'm excited. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit excited. It's just looking forward to seeing you guys and gals each and every week. The Fang fiasco. There was a Chinese sexpionage agent trying to, give him funds for his campaign when he was campaigning way back. It's like, think around 2011, 2013, 14, around that time. Helped him with his campaign. She had sex with a bunch of other people, not Eric Swahili, not Eric Swalwell, but apparently somebody else, and she's a legit sex espionage agent of China, of CCP. So there was that. And that's whatever, that shit happens. You're bumping elbows. Who knows? Maybe we had Eric Swalwell reverse sex-espionage / platonic. They didn't have sex. It was platonic espionage. Platonic sex-espionage is way better. So we were trying to do. Maybe we weren't. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. Nonetheless, the sex-espionage in this case was very much one-sided, and doesn't matter. The point is, He resigned amid allegations. This is again, first and foremost, I want to say this type of stuff sucks when it comes out. Because one, for the fact that you don't want it to be true because you don't want victims. Unless you perverts out there actually want real victims. And not to say there aren't any in circumstances in and around the world. It's a lot of different people, but nonetheless, anytime you do hear a fresh news story, like, oh, God damn it, the victims. And then afterwards, you try to come up with jokes. So, Eric Swalwell apparently cheated on his wife. That's not a problem if you cheat. I mean, like, it's a problem for his bitch. It's a problem for when he goes home, it's gonna be a problem. There's not gonna be, not gonna be any problems. Or maybe they're cool with it. I don't know, to be honest with you. This modern age that we live in, maybe they're polygamists, maybe they're into multiple open relationships. It's the open feng shui of the relations. It's the new age of you do things, you invite people, and then somebody gets jealous, it's a whole mess. Who knows? Maybe they're polygamists. I don't know that, but I don't believe so. And I did not do the research, to be honest with you, because it's just fun talking about it. You hear about these things, allegations of sexual assault by different women. Apparently, sexually assaulted by drugging and raping, apparently. That's what the allegations are. Normally, I would say wait till you hear it. And I've learned this throughout the years. I've learned this. Innocent until proven guilty. That's for one. But secondly, but then he did resign. But then he resigned immediately. So I'm like, yo, what if? Because not to say, I don't know, to be honest. What did he do? Did he get some hookers? Did he choke some hookers? So he's into choking hookers. I don't know if that was consensual. Like, we're now doing the choking. I'm gonna pay you. I'm gonna choke you because you're a prostitute ski. And that's what the 500 on top of the first 500. That's what the second 500 is for. All right. Maybe I don't know. All right. So he might be into. I don't know. That might be it. And then there was another one. Apparently, a staffer said he drugged and raped her. She woke up not remembering things. Like she said no somewhere, but then she woke up having not remembered many things. And then apparently, he drugged and he sexed. Drugged and sexed. Apparently, allegedly. I don't know. We'll see what happens, of course, but again, I say moral of the story for anybody running, this is part of the game, if you're running, if you want to get into it, from what I gather, just not somebody who's on the inside, of course, somebody who's watching from the out, I think it's a prerequisite if you're going to be involved in some sort of politics, maybe not the lowest levels, maybe when you just start out, grassroots is like not a prereq, but as you get a little bit higher and higher, I think that's part of the game. You got to be compromised. You got to do something. I think you got to be into doing questionable things. Maybe I'm not quite sure, to be honest. I get a feeling. Like if you want to climb up, you got to suck a dick on tape. You got to suck a dick, or do a circle jerk on tape, or get hit in the nuts get a woman wearing latex and then stomping on your nuts and then record it. I don't know. Or it might just be random people having a good time. There's, and to each their own. And there are people who do this just for funsies. Nonetheless. But the moral of the story is what I'm trying to learn from this, because you learn from everything. If you're getting involved in politics, have your, if you're going to have allegations come out at you, get the power first, then have the accusations come out. It's much easier to fight the accusations once you're in power. Or once you've held power. It's not easy I get it. It's not easy to do a campaign when you get allegations prior to becoming the governor, potentially. So lessons learned, you deal with it, or you power through, deal with it, get the power, you deal with it is what I'm learning. I'm not, again, hopefully nobody got, we'll see. But then again, if he did the drugging, if he did, chloroform, if he did a Cosby, and by the way, I like Cosby, I like Bill Cosby, I refute, but general public consensus is apparently some people were doing this at that time. It's just the norm, others have said. I don't know. Trying to bring down another black man, not gonna happen on my watch. Power to the peoples. Point is, ladies and gentlemen, he did, right? I don't know. Why do we look the other way for some and then others get trampled on by the heavy boot of the man? Doesn't matter. The point is, be in office and then, you know, have the allegations come and never have lessons learned, never have the allegations come out prior, and double down on it. That's the life. You lean into it. You lean into it. You're a pimp. You paid for the sexual activities. Yeah, you choked a bitch. You paid for it consensually. The ones that you roofie, those ones are going to be hard to defend. So I can't defend those. Again, I don't know though. I don't know. We'll see. We're going to have to wait and see. Learning as we go along the way, in relation to all these topics that are extremely that are turn-ons, that are major turn-ons. Moving forward to the House of Lords, which is I don't know what the House of Lords is, but I'm guessing it's a house. I read about this. I think it's in the UK. I think it's kind of like I guess like a Senate, like, you know, where the senators of the UK go. House of Lords. It's the house. It's a house. And lords get in. They're not regular peasants, not the plebs, all right? Not some schmo off the street. This is the House of the Lords, all right? Like, right? The dukes and shit. I don't even know is there a difference between a duke and who knows? House of Lords, all right? Lords get in. Lords get in. Non-lords, you stay out, son. You stay out where you belong on the streets. House of the Lords, where they wear the top hats, I think, and say, hello, governor, hello, governor, hello, governor, hello, governor. And that goes on for like 2.5 hours as they're removing their top hats. Underneath the top hats, miniature top hats. Underneath those top hats, another level of miniature top hats. Hello, governor, hello, governor. Top of the morning to ya. Bangers and mash. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that the House of Lords came down and put down the gavel and banned step incest porn as of late in the UK. If I'm not mistaken, they just did it recently. They banned incest porn, step incest porn, specifically not incest, but just step incest porn. And it is not quite sure how I feel about this, to be honest with you. I myself am not a consumer of step incest porn. I've made this very clear from the beginning, from day one. That's what that was our messaging from day one. Not into step incest. Not you know, again, not fully against it if it's there and you know, if it's a good view, if it's a good watch. I mean, I'm not gonna be like, I'm you know, anything but step incest porn. No, but it's not my cup of it's not my cup of porn. The point is that the House of Lords decided that it's not good to have step incest porn, albeit simultaneously it's not actually illegal in England and in Wales. It's not illegal to, like, by law. I read this. Not illegal to have step incest sex or relations or both sexual relations with the stepsisters or stepbrothers. But the House of Lords decided that's too much. It's too much. It's not good. And so they want to ban it. You know, part of me says, you know what? Maybe we do have a few too many categories. Maybe there are a lot of categories. Maybe there's so many categories. Maybe one or two needs to go. Maybe one or two needs to go. You know, I could get behind one or two. Maybe, you know, if it's actually, you know, if the people don't want it, you know, if it's hurting people, yes. If it's not consensual, yes, get rid of it. But everything else, to me, it's like, you know, where do we draw the line? Because it's step incest porn now, and the next thing, what else could be next, ladies and gentlemen? And who will and what about the step incest lovers out there? What about the actual lovers out there, the community who looks out to pop culture or just media in general to find an image of themselves, a reflection of themselves, so that they see themselves represented out there? How would they know they exist? How would they know that they're important? How would they know that their voices matter? How would they know that somebody out there heard them queef? How, if they don't have representation? I like to say that we should fight this somehow. Inside of me it says, fight it, fight it, fight it, fight it hard. Fight it while you're hard. Something tells me, and we will. So to the House of Lords, I'd like to ask on behalf of the people. I've listened, they've spoken, I've heard what they've said. Majority public wants step incest porn. Not your boy, but the majority public does want it, and we have the facts to prove it. I'd like to point to Exhibit A over here, if I could, but focus here, because we only have one camera. We're not multi-cam. I can't point to thing. We're not, this is fucking, you know, this is Skeleton Crew. We don't have, I don't have multicast. I'm going to point there and say Exhibit A. We're going to talk about it over here. I'm not going to, you know, I can't be cameraman and, you know, doing, it doesn't matter. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that Exhibit A, I'd like to draw your attention to the pandemic, schmandy-pandy, COVID. One of the major factors that got the people through was incest porn, step incest porn. A lot of people had questions. Why is this happening? Why is this forced upon us? What happened to bodily autonomy? What happened to consent? What happened to, you know, our, you know, my body, my choice? What happened to it's my business? Let me have it be open. And why are you making people do all these crazy shit? And the only thing, one of the only things that made sense at the time were when people logged in, and by logged in I mean they just went online. There was no logging in. People went online, and in hard times they refused to not get hard. They got hard, and they played with their clits whilst watching step incest porn. Some of them, at least, not all, but some. And those people, those are the true heroes. Some of them. And for those people, we say, you will not be forgotten. You're not going to be left behind. We are going to fight this through tooth and nail. Tooth, nail, and hair. And bone. Things that, you know, we're going to fight this with, you know, things that require calcium in your body. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, I like to say again, this is a slippery slope. Next thing you know, because, yeah, if two consensual adults as actors can't get into roles of, you know, pretending to be above age. Of course, we don't want this to be any, you know, involving children. Again, if it's hurting somebody, if it's children that are involved, no. But if it's consensual adults, I don't particularly see a reason as to why two adults can't role play. You know, two 35-year-old lesbians can pretend that one's a mom and one's a daughter, and make a video, a film, a piece of art, okay? And depict an aspect, not the only aspect, but an aspect of humanity and what it means to exist in today's modern, beautiful world that we live in. And for those reasons, I like to say that I like to rest my case. My cigarette smoking case is now resting. I'll let the jury do the thinking, and I'd like to say that think of all the categories you've scrolled through, and ask yourself, are you ready to say goodbye to step incest porn? And if I'll let you guys decide. I'll let you gals decide. A beautiful question came in, of course. Somebody asked, you know how we do sometimes in outreach programs, sometimes just looking out for the community out there. Somebody came in and asked, Rob, help me out with this one, and thank you. Thank you. We'll call you Alex. Thank you, Alex, for your request, for your thoughtful question. Somebody came in, Alex came in and said, Rob, I need help. How do I tame that pussy? Wow, Alex, what a thoughtful, thought-provoking question. How to tame that puss? How to tame that pussy? It's a great question. I'm going to break it down into steps. Nothing is impossible. Go with, when in doubt, seek out to, you know, sportswear attire manufacturing companies, slogans like "just do it" or "nothing is impossible." See, and there's a lot of wisdom in that. So, how to tame a puss or pussy in general? Step one: locate said puss. Locate said puss. They're out there in nature. Of course, they're out there in the wild. The puss themselves are wild, and it requires for you to go out there and find one. I'd say look up cowboys, you know, lassoing little, a little tiny bull, a little, sheep, it's very similar. So you want to carry rope with you, have food in hand, have food, rope, food, learn, maybe tie up a rope, throw the rope around a few times, try to catch objects, move on to animals if you've got any in and around your vicinity. Then once you're ready, again, take some food because you need to nourish them. Lasso a bitch when you see her in the wild, reel her in, dangle the food, give her the food when she's good, deprive her of the food when she's not. Untie her, of course, afterwards, because you don't want them to be like tripping and falling and getting deformities all over their bodies and coming down with the mental right there. You know what I'm talking about? Too many hits to the head, no bueno. You're gonna have to set that one free. The point is, these are just a few of the steps that takes to tame a bitch. But of course, you're gonna have to writing, and they will kick you off. They will kick you off. But you're gonna have to ride and ride and ride until from sunrise to sunset. That's not necessarily written anywhere, but it is an unspoken truth. From sunrise to sunset, ride, replenish with hydration, rinse, repeat, continue, and I would say 7 days of full dedication. You will by then have tamed the puss, and it is now yours. So congratulations, thank you for that wonderful question. And these are just, of course, a few basic steps. Join us sometime later in the future when we go full in depth and look at what it takes to tame the puss. Thank you. I saw this one. This one is just, I don't know how I feel about it, so we're going to speak on the matter, and we'll see how our feelings are revealed to one another. Breastfeeding robots, ladies and gentlemen. I saw this one. I'm not quite sure what to make of it. Breastfeeding robot. Again, it is 2026. We are making allegedly artificial wombs. Allegedly, artificial. The intelligence is playing a huge role, I guess, in the near future, so they say. And then you have breastfeeding. Now we got breastfeeding robot. They had a robot. Somebody made a robot that's breastfeeding a baby. A live baby was placed between the hands of this robot, brought the baby close to itself, and had a bottle sticking out of its midsection where the titties used to be. And it's technically, I guess, breastfeeding the babe. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, this could be, pros and cons of everything. Of course, if there's a mother out there who is, tit deficient, is how you it, TD, lacking the tits. Maybe she gave birth, tits fell off as a, you never know what can happen during childbirth. Time and again, when I was out there on the front lines, the back lines, mid lines, I was somewhere on the line, helping, assisting women give birth as a doctor. I myself saw maybe 7.5 to 8.5 women have their tits just fall off as soon as they gave birth. It's called lose your tit while giving birth defect. And 1 out of 1 million women are impacted by this yearly. Of course, I happen to see just 7.5 on one shift. Odd, but it could happen. So it could be helpful in a sense if a woman has lost her tits for whatever, as she can't breastfeed. Maybe this is a good tool, and she doesn't have any arms either, so she can't grab a bottle for the babe and feed the baby. Maybe she doesn't have arms, no tits, just, maybe one leg. Maybe this bitch has got one leg, one good leg, but overall, the oven itself works. What holds up the oven and maintains it, not so much. So she's gonna need a little bit of assistance. Maybe in that sitch, it's not so bad to be like, hey, let's get this breastfeeding robot to come and assist Sally here, No arm, no tit, one leg, Sally. She could use that. But what's to come of this baby? This baby that got breastfed by a robot, First it was wet nurses. Now we're going to, robotic nurses who are, right now at this move, they're not capable of getting wet. They're not capable of being moist. And I don't know, wet nurses tend to raise fine babies because it's human, These bitches are wet when they're, nursing. Their titties are lactating and they're either on their period, urinating, and or, fingering themselves in the clam so that they're, squirting all the time. That's why they're called wet nurses. It goes back to the 13th century practice of wet nursing. They used to do it, but nonetheless, we're moving to dry nurses, which are, I guess, breastfeeding robots. I don't, are we going to raise a healthy bunch? Is generation beta, probably by the time this is, like a regular norm thing, it'll be for generation beta, right? Generation alpha, it's not going to be taken because they're already here. Beta probably will get, as beta, that's why they're going to be called generation beta, isn't it? We're gonna be breastfeeding with breastfeeding robots. They're not gonna get that human touch. They're all gonna be fucking betas. As a result of no tit to mouth contact to the infant, the babies will grow up. The men will be beta, the women will seek beta, goes back full circle. Soft eggs make soft societies, make soft men who like runny eggs, who have no sperm, who are eating plastic and getting diarrhea, which makes for soft men, gelatinous men who are made of fucking plastic, and women with just, you know, soft seeking attributes for men who do this full circle, get together, make even softer babies, and now you're just a pile of goop on the ground. You might as well be sold as a pile of goop. And that's for Generation Beta. We're good for now though, but like Generation Beta, I'm getting a feeling might be fucked, or we might make the sturdiest babies. I don't know. Maybe they're like, I never touched my mother's tits. You don't even know how rough I had it. That's the voice of the baby, by the way. Apparently they're into smoking a lot of cigs and just being hardcore because they never got to touch their mother's teats. We'll see how it goes. I'm optimistic, of course, but nonetheless, get yours today. This podcast is brought to you by Breastfeeding Robots. Buy one, we'll send 72, 75, 100. Fuck it, I'm feeling luxurious, expensive, giving. You got buy one, get 100 Breastfeeding Robots. I'd like to bring our attention and focus for 1 minute to Diana Carney, this Carney bitch. She's not a bitch she doesn't work in the Carney. She's not a Carney whore. And I respect the Carney, but I respect Carneys. I don't respect this Carney. Who am I talking about here? Like, if you're from Canada, you might know. If you're larger, global populace might not know. Who are you talking? Who's this Diana Carney bitch? Why'd she come on your radar? Wife of Mark Carney, that's the Prime Minister of Canada. She's recently, I guess, given a speech somewhere, talking at at a conference somewhere, and she's saying some stuff that is a little bit, it's when the lizards come out. It's when the eggs have hatched and the lizards have crawled out, and now they're walking on too, and you see it. You see their tongues, you see their skin, and they say stuff that is very much, it's lizard vocab essentially. She came out and said university students are seeking out her husband's speech at Davos. Apparently they're reading this. This is what she's saying. Not quite sure who, but apparently university students, cult members, beautiful young cult members, are reading his speech at Davos, and he spoke about Canada's role in the New World Order and how Canada plays its part in ushering in and creating and maintaining and growing the New World Order. Apparently, that's what she's saying. That's what this bitch said. That's what this bitch said. And she has a British accent, so that it's not, and she's not even Canadian. But nonetheless, the point is, like she is, I assume. Maybe it doesn't matter. The point is, she's a lizard. The point is, she's a lizard. She's saying it out loud. They're talking about it. Doesn't make me feel too good that Canada is playing a role in the New World Order. Doesn't make me too, who we heard say such words? Bush Sr.? Everybody kind of low-key said it at one point. Bush probably said it at one point. I think both Bushes, the senior and junior, said it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they both mentioned it. I think Obama mentioned it. And then it's just weird. It's just, what is this New World Order? What is this group of people who have this plan, who've got an image of what the world is supposed to look like, and they go about doing shifty activity? You know what I'm talking about? Doing shifty type shit activity. I'm talking about lizards fucking licking their eyeballs and fucking just shedding skin like lizards do, and then freezing and cold temperatures, and then like resting, fucking cryogenic shit, falling off trees, getting revived, ending up in tacos, being sold at a taco stand in Florida. Lizards. the point is that it's a little bit weird. It's a little bit weird. It's a lot weird probably, but they're out and about. They're saying this shit. It's right in front of our eyes. And you know, it's that globalist, you know. Is it a dog whistle? Is it a cat whistle? Is it just a fucking, they're straight up explicitly saying shit just to see if anybody notices? So what is the new world order? What is it? Is it just, you know, it's a plan to, you know, for global dominance, reduce the population by 2/3, have global mass surveillance, facial recognition, digital currency. Who knows? Or it might just be good times. It might just be the new world order. It's just good times. Just these people who are extremely wealthy, who squeeze the mass majority of people, want to get together, work for the people. And they keep working really well together. And the rest of the people just, you know, reap the fruits of their hard labor. We're just knee deep, constantly reaping the fruits of the NWO and lizardry. It's beautiful to watch. Who's in it? Who's in it? A lot of people. A lot of people, I would say. A lot of people are, you know, global, you know, institutions, banks, you know, people from, you know, banks are there, people from pharmaceuticals, every large industry is probably involved, heads of them at least. It's my guess. I don't even know. It's just my guess. You know, people who develop, you know, military equipment, people who, you know, are literally in everything, in construction, in tech, in AI, who knows, in food. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, it's just a little something that I noticed, but moving on to fun, beautiful subjects. Who cares about this stuff? Skirting together. Sabrina Carpenter was just recent, before we even get into Sabrina Carpenter's performance, Coachella was just happening. I'm not sure if it's over and done with. I've not had the chance to visit or, you know, partake in Coachella. I've heard tickets are expensive. And if you find tickets are expensive, there's always the black market where you can sell body parts, kidneys, kidney stones, you know, a solid kidney stone. It'll be, you know, if you can grow, the bigger the better. If you can grow it, there's a customer out there, you know. If it's actually, you know, if it's retrieved through your urethra and you've captured that, and if it comes with the papers showing that it's actually been passed through your cockhole, that amps up the price. So, you know, get busy. The point is, who needs, you know, do you really need both tits? You know, sell a tit, go to Coachella. And if you can't afford it, just fucking enjoy life. Why not? Fucking enjoy life. You know? Doesn't matter. The point is that people will go, it's a music festival, people perform. Sabrina Carpenter was there, about to perform, and I'm sick and tired of this shit. People bringing animals into concerts, into shows, disrupting her. They disrupted her performance. Okay, somebody brought a goat, ladies and gentlemen, yodeled. A goat yodeled at Sabrina Carpenter. She was thrown off. All you heard before she gets going with her beautiful voice. All right, she has to hear somebody brought a goat, an animal, where there's tons of people around, and you hear this goat just fucking yodel, and we don't know if the goat was scared. We don't know if the goat was hungry. We don't know if it was, you know, mating season, if it was in heat. We don't know if it was ready to pounce on people. We don't know if people were pouncing on it. Maybe somebody saw that goat, you know, yodeling and thought, I'm gonna give it a go. Why not? Shoot your shot, playboy. You know what I'm talking about. Get in that ass. The point is, maybe somebody did. I don't know that. I wasn't there, of course, but it is disruptive, okay? PSA announcement, just, yeah, leave your goats, leave your animals and pets home, somewhere safe. Come enjoy the shows, the festivities. It's, you know, because if we let the goat in, if we let one bitch bring a goat, all right, what's next? Some dude's gonna fucking crawl up in there with a, you know, with a baby bear, with a cub of a bear, with a baby cub bear. some other asshole's gonna see that and bring a fucking kangaroo, you know? Shout out to the kangaroo community, you know, pouch life, you know, sack life, you know what it is. Sipping and dipping in that sack, you know what it is, mommy. And next thing you know, they're grabbing coolers out of the kangaroo's pouch, and it's, you know, kangaroo maybe cracks open a couple of cold ones, starts drinking, gets feisty, punching somebody in the face, lawsuit breaks out, celebrities panicking, pandemonium, people rush in, people get trampled, people die. Moral of the story, leave your yodeling goat at home, you fucking disrespectful son of a bitch, whoever that was. Not cool, man. Not cool. Speaking of goats, this one, if this is not for the weak of heart, this is not for, if there are any children around, please remove them from the vicinity. This may shock you. What comes from this story might shock you. I believe there was a firefighting group of goats who were guided in an area in Calabasas to, you know, to feed, to get fed, to eat up essentially dry patches or old patches or just loose patches of grass where it's prone to catching fire, and that hence why they're called firefighting goats. Sure, these are not your average goats. These goats like to wear, they're just like firefighters, but they're goats. Instead of human firefighters, they're goats. Everything else is exactly the same. They clock in the same time, they clock out the same time as regular human firefighters. Some of you might have even seen some of them driving around fire trucks, because these are, after all, firefighting goats. We do have custom fitted clothes for them, of course. It's to size. We did try to just equip them with the same firefighter outfits and jackets as the humans, but we found it to be a little bit loose, and that got in the way. A few good goats were lost. This was 2017. Lessons learned. They work the hose just like the firemen and women. They go up and down the pole. They go, I tell you, I kid you not, they go, not only do they go down the pole the same way as the human firefighters go down the pole, but they, God bless them, no opposable thumbs, they still make their way all the way back up the pole, just like human firefighters. Of course, they were let loose, guided to an encampment, to an enclosure in Calabasas, and said, roam free, fellow firefighting goats, and help your brethren, your human brethren and sister now in fire prevention. And they did that, but eventually some of them broke loose, the rest of the crew followed, and they essentially got loose. And what follows after, again, please, if you've not removed the children by now, do so. If you are, if you got comorbidities, I recommend you walk away now, because what happened was terrifying. These goats that got away eventually got a hold of the cars. They jacked people, they got guns, they started sticking people up on the highway and said, get out of this fucking car right now, man. The goats got behind the wheels. They start fucking skirting all around the freeways. They start shooting their cats. Goat life, goat life. They did that, scaring the people. They ate some of the children while driving, and they shot more of their bullets into the air. Later on, they went over to some local bar, and they found a group of bikers that have parked their bikes outside of this bar, and they kicked over the bikes, and the bikes went domino, and then the bikers came out, and they're like, you fucked with the wrong group of bikers. And then the goats just blasted on the bikers, and it was bloodshed, I tell you. And they walked into the bar and started drinking their own milk, and that's where we lost contact with our reporters. But again, the rest of the story is of course developing. Please, I said it's going to be devastating. I hope that people are okay out there. We don't know what went wrong. Was it too much pressure? Were they not ready? Did we not do enough in training? Who knows? Join us sometime later in the future when we'll discuss more stories about firefighting goats. I like to, if I may, because I'm an animal lover, and my hands are tied, not literally, figuratively speaking. My hands are literally, they've never been tied. You'll never, ever. Figuratively speaking, my hands are tied, ladies and gentlemen. There are 80 hippos, 80 Pablo Escobar hippos to be exact. They're about to be called. And that means killed. Control, kill. Fucking control, alt, delete this motherfucker. The point is that Colombia has, I don't know if these are apparently Pablo Escobar back in his heyday in the 80s opened up an area, a zoo. I don't know if it was initially, I don't know if he started the zoo or people came and, took over the facilities, turned that portion of land into a zoo. Nonetheless, he had a whole bunch of hippos. Him and like 3 other people introduced a whole lot of hippos into Colombia. It's a mess, but also low key, it's, there's some pros to it as well. Like a lot of people go there and be like, holy shit, those are Pablo Escobar's hippos, man. You see these hippos just fucking doing lines, legit line. And that's cocaine from the 80s. They got that pure shit. They're fucking slicing each other's kidneys open, grabbing sacks of coke, fucking doing lines and working hard, mixing pleasure and work, leisurely activities, and a little bit of duty. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that these are, I don't know if they're the exact same hippos. I don't know if like these hippos are like the hippos of the 80s or just descendants of these hippos, but there's 80 of them and they're gonna be called. Normally, I'm not fucking educated on everything. If there's an animal situation in an area where it needs to be like, we got too many wolves, we gotta fucking take them out, then let's take out the wolves if we need to. If there's too many bears, let's get out there and fucking hunt the bears. Or whatever other animal, like if it needs to be. But I'm just saying, if it's not absolutely necessary to kill these hippos, I'd like to say that do we not have 80? I'm pretty sure we have a few people with cheddar out there that can take a hippo, each one of you. I'm talking about millionaires and billionaires and trillionaires. Grab a hippo, grab a fucking hippo, grab a hippo. Don't let the hippos die. These are good, solid, cocaine sniffing, fucking Colombian marching powder connoisseurs. These hippos are rare, man. These hippos, if they can be saved, let us save them. I'm talking about, if you got money, get a hippo, get a fucking hippo, dog. Come on, be a player, get a hippo. I'm talking, I don't want to name names. I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but if you got the means to, splurge a little bit, if you got that little bit of loot, get a hippo, ride a hippo to work, put it in your large backyard. There's so many people who have the money and the means. If I don't right now, later in the future, fucking if the time comes where you're like, fucking, whatever animals, I'll pitch in there and we'll get the animals. But right now, I'm play to play, pimp to pimp out there. If you've got the means, grab a hippo, grab a couple of them. And people can come over, take pictures, ride them. Sure, they might, get rowdy and attack. But if you got the right facility, you can work with a little bit of cash. You can make a little habitat so they don't have to be called, unless it's absolutely necessary. Because I don't want to, I don't know. Maybe these are ruthless. Fucking maybe it's just too much. Maybe they're too much. All right. If they're a problem, then so be it. But I'm just saying, if let culling be the last resort when it comes to, animals. Fucking. But they're also dangerous. I know hippos are fucking, don't get too close, but also, cool to look at from, relatively, far distance. Not too far. You still want to feel it, what I'm talking about. And if you want to feel it, you just pay a little bit more for the entry fee and we'll let you feel it, if you know what I mean, dog. But, just putting the word out there. If you can, do it. If you can't, do it anyway. Heard of this one? Sydney Sweeney is apparently getting a little bit of shout out to the people out there doing a good work. Just trying to be a little, just a little piece of the puzzle that may. Sydney Sweeney is just resurfacing in her and recapturing her role as Cassie in Euphoria, which I've not watched from the beginning because there's just too many things, and I enjoy and I fucking if you're doing it out there, I'm super happy for you. Not had the chance. I have no idea what Euphoria is. I've heard of it, of course. I don't know. I have no idea what it is. It's a good time. It's one of the best times. Euphoria. It's in the name. It's a bunch of people getting euphoric. being fucking, you know, up there. Ecstasy, feeling fucking grand, you know, fucking euphoric. Nirvana type shit, just up there, levitating, you know what I don't know what it's about. Is it about, I don't know. It's about youth who grow up and continue to be euphoric, you know, and there's no I in euphoria, no wait, there's no me in euphoria, there's us, there's you, there's definitely you, fucking, you know, there's you in euphoria. Nonetheless, she's recapturing her role as the character that she plays in Euphoria, and that's Cassie. I think her name's Cassie. That's the character. I've seen a little clip where she's dressed as a pup. She's dressed as a dog, as a female dog, as a beige. And you know, some people were divided. They're like, what is this? Is this a humiliation ritual for Sydney Sweeney, or is it just a good time? And I like to just, this is a good time. To me, this is a good time. This is a beautiful woman in her prime, living her life, being engaged, being engaging, or engaging. Yeah, why is it engaging? If it's engaging, being engaged and being engaging. The point is that, and she's in charge of her life, and she's making money, and she's doing what she loves, and she's in charge of her sex, the sex that she's in charge of it, and her sexuality, and if she's doing it for the part, and she's getting a lot of money for it. If she has to dress up as a dog and get on her knees and be a little, depicting being a little whore, and that's cool. And that's awesome. I love whores. Big supporter of whores. I've been from day one. No one can take this away. Been day one supporter of whores. God damn it. Through thick and thin, we've been together, whores. And she's a beautiful whore. And in that scene, she's on her knees, doing some OnlyFans thing as her character. I don't know the thing. I don't know Euphoria. Okay, her character's fucking doing it. All right, she's making bank. All right, haters gonna hate it. They're like, oh, it's a humiliation. Not everything is that she's making bank, and she's a little whore in that scene and in life. Moral of the story: I enjoyed the few seconds that I saw. Was I hoping for more? Of course, but there's levels to everything. There's levels to everything in terms of. You're not going to see a titty, you're not going to see a nip slip from Sydney Sweeney, I don't think, at least. Not anytime soon. If it happens, she's going to make bank on it. So, nonetheless, I was hoping for more, but, we'll settle for the time being. A little, fucking whoring it out on her feet, on her fucking knee. Power to the ladies. Fucking let's go. Whore City, I'm here for it. You're a whore, I'm a whore. We're all whores on all fours. Opening doors. What happened to the Moors? Grab a cores. A lot of sores. And there you go. That's my take on it. Fucking let whores be whores. Let whore lives matters. That's what's important here. Whore lives matter. 69-year-old man, James Heaps, was just sentenced to 11 years in prison. What did he do? I'm glad you asked. 69-year-old James Heaps was a former UCLA gynecologist, allegedly assaulted more than 100 women. I think it's a wrap, right? It's a wrap, right? In terms of, they had a good run. Who am I talking about? It takes, ladies and gentlemen, let us for a second. It takes balls. I'm talking cojones. It takes actual balls to be a man, especially in today. Like back in the day, it could have been, it was a thing. People did it. But today, I don't know. In today's society, I don't know which modern man can get up, graduate high school, go to university and be like, I want to study to be a gynecologist. That's right. I mean, you get the balls it takes this day and age. But it's one of those things, it's one of those things where I'm sexist towards that. Or I'm genuinely like, because no man throughout the history of mankind and womankind and manhood and womanhood You're not gonna find one man. You're not gonna, one guy who is, puss altruistic in terms of, I'm gonna go study to, look at puss and touch puss all day because I care about this. I just care. I don't care about the knees, the elbows, the shins. I specifically want to assist as a man, assist women with their puss. That's what I need to do. This is my calling. You don't know me like that. I don't care about the puss the way you care about the puss. I care about it in an altruistic, medicinal way, son. Let's wrap this one up, all right? Let's wrap this one. It's done for men. This is one, we don't need to do that. There shouldn't be any men gynecology. In 2020, this is one of those jobs. It's one of those jobs where, we shouldn't have any men who do gynecology. I don't want any of my female relatives, all right, to have a gynecologist, whether it be any female relatives. I don't want a male with hairy knuckles, being fucking waist deep in a female family member's cooch, telling them about their cooch health. No thanks. All right, I want a female in that one. But there's one of the positions. I'm not too sexist about positions in life. I think everybody should play a lot, whatever they like. But this one, I'm fucking, putting my foot down. On this one, I'm putting my foot down. Who amongst us can say legitimately, if you had the choice between a male gynecologist and a female gynecologist, you're like, I'm gonna go with the male. This feels good, it feels right. No one. Literally no, zero people. Zero. It's just too much. It's just too much puss for one man to, it's just too much puss. You have too much, there's just too much access. There's no way. I'm not saying even all the puss is gonna be great to look at, but play the long game, like 30 years of just looking at puss from 9 to 5. Come on. There's not one man who will survive that job. It's just not meant to be. It's just one we found out. I think the stats are in, right? The stats are in. It speaks for it. Hundreds of women, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care if he's the best. If he's the best, then maybe, okay, then maybe we can make an argument. But even then, give me the second best. Give me the worst. Doesn't matter. Give me the worst female gyno over any male guy. That's my take on it. Unless you guys and gals feel, this is what the House of Lords needs to ban. This shit needs to be banned. Making male gynos, like eliminate that job. There doesn't need to be a male gyno. We should have, and that's that dude just fingering puss all day. I just fucking finger. Yeah, it feels all right to me. Does it feel all right to you there? Why do they even check it out? And they don't know these are men. They don't know what they're looking for. It needs another woman to go for medicinal. We don't know what medicinal, needs are required by puss. We know the pleasure aspect. We don't know the medicinal. You have that. That's like the reversies, reversies, not reversies, actually, never mind, because I would like a hand job from female doctors. That would be pretty tight. But nonetheless, we're talking about the female population. It's, but that's just my personal take on it. If you like a male gyno, by all means. But the balls. This breaks my heart. This goes out to my Chinese viewers in China. From mainland China all the way to wherever else to rural China. I had no idea. All right, it's too late. I found out too late. Couldn't stop it. 50,000 shark fins were confiscated, seized, heading from Mexico to China, to Asia, or I think it was China for the most. I remember it being China. But let's just for the sake of erring on the wrong, erring on the right, doesn't matter. The point is 50,000 shark fins seized, going to China. You're like, what's, some of you might know, some of you might not know. Like, who cares? Why are they taking shark fin? They take these, my beautiful viewers, some of them, most of them, some of them in China, take the shark fin, not all of them, but some of them use it for, dick enhancement, dick performance enhancement, it's a Chinese medicine thing. We do it in China. We fucking nibble on shark fin, get hard, and good luck holding us down for like 3 days. It's like meth for your peen. I don't know. So I've heard, but I'm in it. I'm in the dick game. I'm gonna get that dick game going for you. I'm in that game. We can get it going too. I do apologize. Yeah, you're not gonna have any. Shark soup's gonna be a little bit, low on tap in terms of the dick pills. It'll be. I'm looking to. This is a partnership situation. We can all grow from this. We can all get girth. Get 2 times the girth by a partnership with. I'm looking for a dick pill company to endorse the show, support the show, sponsor the show, and I'm telling you right now, my Chinese viewers. Do not be alarmed. Yes, we're gonna have to find other ways to get hard during these hard times. But I assure you, as soon as the sponsorship comes in, there will be a promo code which I will gladly give you, and we will give you 15. Can we do 20? 20 per hike up the price, then we'll give them 20. 20, we will give you 20% off our dick pills, and it'll be even better than the shark fin dick pills. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. 雷欧玛星星上乒乓 Shing. And that speaks for itself, ladies and gentlemen. So I did my best. I found out too late. There's nothing I can do about it now. Skirting, going back a little bit to the globalists for a second. If we made the 72nd annual Bilderberg Group meeting was held this time in Washington. For those of you who know, for those of you who are familiar, it's one of those groups, one of those secretive groups that has behind closed door meetings against these, societal elites get together in secret, and there's no reporters can get in. It's one of those situations, one of those instances where, people from, again, I'm talking about the world of banking, heads of, global banking gets in there. I'm talking about the AI and tech lords get in there. The tech daddies get in there. Who else gets in there? Military daddies and mommies get in there. Pharmaceutical giants get in there. Who else gets in there? A lot of just big people. Oil gets probably in there. Ore and minerals probably get in. A lot of just heads of state, and they discuss things like, again, what are we going to do about the future? How are we going to rule? What role is, artificial intelligence playing and again, mass surveillance and controlling borders and resources and overall population growth decline? Who knows who will survive? And they play around and they talk. And it's this year it was held in Washington, which again, it begs the question, who is a globalist? When people throw around this word of globalists, it's just curious, curious as to who's a member, what it stands for, what are the agendas, what are they trying to get going? Questions. And the people who say are not globalists, could they too be a part of some larger agenda? Questions. As a person, it's just odd. It's just certain things are odd. You ask questions, but then there's always, I don't care. You get attacked from all sides. It doesn't even matter. Questions. Yeah, when I hear term globalist, and then, there's people in tech and they're all, connected to higher ups, and everybody's, decisions are getting made behind the scenes where nobody, the massive, mass majority of people don't know what's going on, and they get hit with different stuff. It's, questions. It's good to have a healthy suspicion of things. That's just my take on the matter. But nonetheless, low-key, can I just, when people, just genuine question out there. I don't ever believe in, one of the main reasons I started doing this was to, learn, grow, have a voice, of course, to do comedy. Some part of it is learning, growing. Loki, can I just ask one question, if I may? Does President Donald Trump, is he a globalist, Loki? Is he not a globalist? A question, I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you. Just, is he or is he not? And I'm a fan in terms of one of the funniest presidents ever. Give them the flowers where the flowers are given and taken. But low-key, is he or isn't he? You know, when you have weird pictures with your hand on the globe with, you know, fucking sheiks and other world leaders, just fucking a glowing globe and hands all over the globe, and it's questions, you know, because, you know, I'll have best friends who attend meetings like Bilderberg. This year, you know, Peter Thiel didn't get a chance to go, but other times he's a big, you know, big fucking member of this Bilderberg. He's one of them. And this guy's obsessed with the Antichrist, and that's which he gives speeches, apparently. He gives speeches in Switzerland and Italy. This guy's obsessed with the Antichrist, apparently, and he's warning people to be careful of a person or people who are coming in saying that they, you know, they're warning others. They're warning others about potential threats like AI, nuclear war, and climate control, or climate change, rather. Yeah, be careful of that guy. And he's talking about the Antichrist all the time. It's a little bit sus. Who talks about the Antichrist? I think the Antichrist will talk about the Antichrist, of warning people about the Antichrist. Or is that a little bit, I don't know, just asking questions. Is Trumpesian on it? Is Trumpesian on it or not? Low key, somebody leave a comment. Man, we're gonna get whatever, it doesn't even matter. Looking at higher ups, looking to learn here, and if he's not, he's not. I'll take your word for it. I will take your word for it. Unless, we'll see. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that yeah, they have meetings and it's all good. They have meetings and you go about your business and the market will go up and down and the people will make money up top, and you just keep doing your thing and we'll all just be a part of it together. We're in it together, all of us. Some of us are behind the doors, way out. Some of us are inside the doors and impact a lot of, but we're all in it together, okay? We're all equally in it together at the end of the day. Sam Altman's house just got, for the second time, you guys, for the fucking second time, got attacked. First, it was somebody threw, I think within 2 days, somebody threw a Molotov cocktail at his house. And just a few days after, somebody came up to his house and just shot it up. I think they've been arrested. Not sure if it's the same person that did it twice or if it's different people that did it twice, and needs to stop, all right? I don't know what the reason behind this outrage was, but it doesn't, you know, justify it. It doesn't make, you know, make it okay. I think it's because he's got the world's thinnest eyebrow. I get it. He does have freakishly thin eyebrows. Probably the world's thinnest eyebrows. And it's extremely hard to trust a man with extremely thin eyebrows. Just a little, it doesn't matter. But that's not a good enough reason for you to fucking throw Molotov cocktails and shoot it up with a gun. All right, it's not cool. There's nothing he can do about it. There's nothing he can do about it, guys. Low key, between just me and the can't do anything. OpenAI CEO, we can't do anything about his eyebrows. Can we? Does he pluck them all the way out? Is it just like that naturally? And I'm not judging, but I'm just saying it could be that maybe some people are a little bit frightened about the eyebrows. I'm just saying. And given the fact that you work in AI, extremely thin eyebrows, look a little bit, it's just a little bit that I'm just saying. I'm hearing what people are saying. It's might be the thinnest eyebrow. People are, you know, at sensitive times. People see things, they're like, God, this guy's eyebrows, Jesus Christ, what happened? You know, we don't know. All right, a lot, you know, sure. Are more NASA scientists going missing? Of course, left, right, and center. Apparently the numbers are growing. Do not be alarmed. Just behind me right now, a few other NASA scientists just got mysteriously vanished. Who knows? Could the same people be behind Sam Altman's missing eyebrows? Who knows? The mystery continues. But not a good enough reason, I'll tell you that. Not a good enough reason, God damn it. Yeah, because I do hear people sometimes, you know, and I'm all over the place today, but it's okay. It's all right. You know, people will say, yeah, Trump was an outsider. He was an outsider, fights the globalists, but Was he an outsider? Again, low-key question for the higher-ups, learning moment. Was he an outsider? He's been inside for a really long time. Was he not, a little bit of an insider? I mean, if he's an outsider, good God, what am I? Jesus Christ. If he's I'm fucking, doesn't matter. Because, I guess we have different definitions of what an outsider, I mean, yeah. It's, again, I don't know. Just trying to learn if he's, we'll see. I think all of this makes just sense and down the line in the future, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, outsider fighting the globalists. Yet it seems like the same agendas tend to happen regardless of who's in power or allegedly in power and control. Questions, just questions, mere simple innocent questions. Or are there bigger things at play that pull the strings, that work together in secret communities and secret groups? Who knows? What I like to say is that it's time that we remember times are changing and it is a new world order, and moving forward, I've heard this is a new trend, so please everybody, if you're engaging, you're engaged, or if you're engaging, or if you're about to engage, they have said, I've heard this, they say oral is the new handshake, and it is a new world order, I suppose. So there you have it. If you see somebody greeting you by going down on you and eating you out and or giving you head, do not be alarmed. It's just what it is. It's simply engage yourself by going down after. It'd be rude not to. So that is, again, oral is the new handshake, and I suppose it makes sense. It does make sense. Handshakes are intrusive. Handshakes are, you never know what kind of a grip somebody's gonna have. Is this gonna be a tight grip? Is this gonna be like, this guy really needs to show that he's got a tight grip, or is it too loose of a grip? You know what I'm talking about? One of those flimsy fucking handshakes where you're like, Jesus, just don't even, get away. What was that? Disgusting. So you never know. So I get it. I get the logic behind it. And again, it is time. It is time. We're there. Oral is the new handshake. The point is, let us all continue to grow and ask questions. And when we see each other out there, remember to say hello. Peace out. Get out of here.